Hey everybody, I'm Grandmaster Ben Feingold. This is 5 Minutes with Ben, and I'm Ben. We're going to look at a game played a long time ago, 1960. Bobby Fischer's black, and he's playing Theodor Ghitescu, the Romanian player. This was board one of the Olympiad. When I say board one, I mean it was the US's board one versus Romania's board one. This game is semi-famous because of a blunder, but it's not as famous as it should be. And for anybody who's under, let's say, 1,200 or 1,300, this is a tactic you need to learn and know. And some of you do know it. If your rating is 1,500 or over, then you have to know it. I mean, you already know it. If you don't already know it, then you're going to learn it today. This game didn't take very long. Typically, when you play in a team tournament, you're playing for your team. So if you make a horrible blunder and lose quickly, you not only feel bad because you did that, you feel bad because you let your team down. Conversely, the other players on the U.S. team must have been pretty happy. Okay, and I'm happy because I can make 5 minutes with Ben. If the game was 70 moves, I'd have to show you the last 10 moves or something. But I can show you the whole game. Okay, they played Nimzo-Indian. And I have a chessable course out about the Nimzo-Indian. And also, I discuss it from white side in my D4 course. So if you want to have white in the Nimzo-Indian or black in the Nimzo-Indian, there's two different chessable courses you can buy from me that'll explain what I think you should do. Okay, Ghitescu played the most common move, Rubinstein variation E3. White, black castled, bishop D3, D5, knight F3. You can see this position today in Grandmaster play. Now, Fischer made a very unusual move. Usually, black plays C5 here, or takes, plays B6. Instead, Fischer played knight C6. And the point of knight C6 is to not attempt to play C5, because knight's on C6, so you can't. It's to play E5. E5 is difficult to play, except for one thing. Fischer played it as soon as he could. Castles. So now, E5 hangs the E pawn, and in many instances, it hangs the D pawn. So Fischer got rid of the D pawn. Now white had to move their bishop twice. Then Fischer prepared E5 with bishop D6. Fischer didn't feel like giving up the two bishops this game. Now Ghitescu played bishop B5 and said, if you play E5, I can take your knight, and your pawn on E5 isn't defended sufficiently. And Fischer said, do you know who I am? I'm Fischer. Fischer played E5, and Ghitescu said, but I take on C6. And now, if you take back, I win a piece. Go Ghitescu. So Fischer played at Zwischenzug. He didn't take the bishop, took on D4. And now white has two pieces attacked. So Ghitescu took the pawn back. B takes C6. So white has better pawn structure because of the doubled and isolated pawns. On the other hand, white also has an isolated pawn, and black has the two bishops. So white completed development. Fischer put his rook on the open file. Ghitescu connected his rooks by playing queen to d3. And Fischer said, hey, my knight's not on c6 anymore. I can play c5. You already played e5. The e-pawn's gone. So why not undouble the pawns? And so if white wants black to have double pawns, then white has to play d5. Black still has the double pawns. Or white could allow c takes d4 and gets rid of white's isolated pawn. Black still has two isolated pawns. Bishop looks pretty good on b7. Nice diagonal. Okay, I would say the game is about equal. Okay, now the game ended next move. Because in chess, blunders are unforgiven. White made one of the worst moves on the board. And you might be thinking, as bad as queen g6? And the answer is close. Close. Almost as bad as queen g6. It's not as bad as queen g6, but it was close. Okay, so in this position, Ghitescu assumed, I'm going to take the pawn and you'll take the pawn. So that's what Ghitescu did. And Fischer said, do you know who I am? And Ghitescu said, you already asked me that. Okay, d takes c5 is a terrible blunder. Again, if you're rated 1500 or over, you got to know this tactic. If you're rated under 1200, unclear. Probably you know the tactic, but you might not. Okay, and I've seen this tactic 1 billion times. So, okay, and Fischer surprised Ghitescu, I hope, and played bishop takes h2 check. And even though Kramnik wasn't born yet, he demanded an investigation because Fischer won so quickly. He's like, how can an Olympiad on board one somebody lose so quickly? I demand the process and so forth, and the procedure. Okay, in this position, Ghitescu resigned because he's in check, and bishop takes h2 unleashed the latent potential of the black queen on the white queen. So black wins a queen. When you're playing in an Olympiad, you don't want to lose your queen on move 14. God damn. Okay, so I never did that because I've never played in an Olympiad. So I never blundered my queen on move 14 in an Olympiad. So Ghitescu resigned. This is one of the most famous blunders that Fischer has faced. And he won a quick game in the Olympiad. As a consequence, at the time, Fischer was 17 years old. Grandmaster Ben Feingold, I hope you enjoyed that more than Ghitescu did. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time with more 5 Minutes with Ben. Bye.